From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spar on the radio.
Hello to the Kula Shaker. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. My name isn't actually Kula Shaker, you know that. My name's Crispian. But actually, when I'm in India, a lot of people think my name is Kula Shaker because it is a name out there as well. It's a name of a famous king, and when I meet people, they often get confused and think my name's Kula Shaker.
That's cool. So, can you tell me what about the debut album that you released back in 1996 called K?
Yes, I can just about remember it.
So, can you tell more about it?
Well, the album itself, I could tell you that it was an album that was made by a bunch of kids, you know, and we've been working writing songs since we were together since sort of 18, 19, and we got our record deal with Columbia when we were 21. And the only song that we really had played for the whole time was Govinda. We had that since the first gig. Govinda was our lucky song. It stayed with us the whole way. And then I think shortly after that, we wrote a version of Hey Dude. And then and so they were kind of stayed with us for the slog through those early days when we were kids trying to get signed. And then most of the songs that we wrote for K came about just around the time we got our deal, our record deal. We had a record deal when we were 20, but you know, a year or so before, but it only lasted 6 months. And I think the head of the record company fancied our manager at the time. And she was a bit of a hippie, and instead of memos or emails, you know, she would write him poetry, fax it through to him, and she would, if we needed a new bass amp, she'd send him a poem or a rhyme, and he eventually just got irritated by it and dropped us. And that was a moment where we were in crisis because we were 20 years old and we thought, oh my God, we're past it. That's it. We've lost it. We've missed our chance. But things worked out in the end.
That's good to hear. So can you tell me more about the single you released back in 2007 called Strange Folk?
It wasn't a single, it was an album.
Okay.
Yeah, that record, we put that together. We'd had a little bit of a break. I had a bit of a nervous breakdown and kind of retired, as you do, as pop stars do. I retired at the age of 25, and then I came back, 31. I think I was 31, and decided to make another record with the lads. And it was a good record. It was hard to make. It was the first independent album we'd made, just us lot. But Jay wasn't free. He was on tour with Oasis. He was traveling the world. I think I asked him if he wanted to come and record with us, but he was in Kuala Lumpur with Liam and Noel, or somewhere like that. And we said, okay, we understand. He'd already, it was a job as well, and so we went off and we made a few records without Jay, and we had a great Hammond player. But when Jay came back last year, it's nothing quite like that original gang. There is a magic about playing with the people that you grew up with, the people that you learned to play music with, and it really sounds like it on the record.
So I'm going to move on a few years now. So can you tell me more about the single release called Cherry Plum Tree?
Cherry Plum Tree. What can I tell you about that? It's got one of those choruses that goes tra la la, tra la la, not la la la, but tra la la. It's Old English. It means a similar thing, but it has a different sort of feel to it. Yeah, it was one of the songs we wrote for the First Congregational Church of Eternal Love and Free Hugs, which I can say now quite easily without even breaking a smile. But it was one of those titles that we sort of test people whether they really had done their research or not. And it was one of those album titles that no one could remember. All they could remember is that they couldn't remember it. It was too long. But it was a sort of reaction, our reaction to COVID, you know, and all that mania of being locked up. It was like, oh, we're going to come out with the First Congregational Church of Eternal Love and Free Hugs. That's what we needed at that moment as a band. And it was a good album. We were very proud of it, and still enjoy playing songs like I'm Against It and Cherry Plum Tree.
So can you tell me more about the single release called Waves?
Waves was written after a big gig in Manchester, and crowd was swaying their arms in the air, and it looked like a wave. It often does from the stage. The crowd looks like a kind of one kind of mass of people, and so that was the beginning of that lyric, singing all the boys from Manchester. There were some girls in the audience too. But it was just it was great to be reconnected after lockdown and all of that stuff, and it was great to reconnect with audiences, and I get a sense of hope that, you know, it wasn't all bad and people were going to you know, find a positive way forward.
So can you tell me more about the new album that you just released recently?
Well, it's called Natural Magic, and it's been a joy to record, and we're really looking forward to playing it live as well, because we've played some of the songs, we've tested them out on an audience, and that was one of the ways we got the energy up on this record, is that we had already road tested it on audiences, and we knew how we wanted to play it. But there's a lot of the album runs as a kind of a piece, as a continuous piece as well, even though they're all sort of like pop songs. So we're looking forward to playing a lot of that sequence live and giving people a live experience of the record.
So recently you just released a new single called Professional Man, and bringing it back home. So can you tell me more about the double single that we've recently released?
Yeah, I kind of miss the single now. Is sort of it's sort of lost in this ocean of streaming, you know, and you know, maybe a single gets pushed at national radio. Most likely it doesn't, because the competition is so stiff. So what's the difference between just a track streaming in the endless sort of swirling cosmos of Spotify and Apple Music? What's the difference between a single and a proper release? So we wanted to make a double A side, which actually had a story to it. So the double A side is like two sides of the brain. You've got the rational side of the brain, and then you've got the emotional, intuitive, imaginative side. And so you've got a guy rationally trying to make sense of a world that doesn't make sense, trying to be sane in an insane world. And then you've got someone on the other side trying to find a spiritual solution, trying to find a way that he can feed his soul and make sense of it on a spiritual level. And we thought, well, you know, there's not enough of that going on, proper single releases, so we put a double A side, Rational Man, and bringing it back home, and then and we're releasing it on vinyl too. Then the vinyl will have a special extended version of bringing it back home that you can't get streaming as well.
So, can you tell me, Kula Shaker, independent, or are you signed artists?
We are independent. We answer to nobody.
So, can you tell me?
It's hard. It's hard to run. It's hard to run an independent label, you know. But the flip side is that if you go with a big record company and you have that experience again, there's not that many. They're all kind of one big homogenized sort of block, one great big Tower of Babel, and you know, if things go wrong with a big record company, which they often do, if they're not prioritizing you, or then you're stuck. So if things are going wrong and you're an independent label, at least it's on you. At least it's up to you to dig yourself out and to try and turn things around. And so things are very hard when you have an independent label. It's tough, and you don't have the same muscle in terms of reach and marketing and all of that, and just letting people know that you're putting a record out. But at least you're in control, and at least you've got more say over how you're presenting it, and it's closer to the artist, and therefore it's kind of closer to the audience as well.
So, can you tell me more about up and coming tour?
The tour's going to be great. We're going to save the world, and you know, that's what everybody should do. Everybody should go out and you know, lift the vibration, as they say, raise the vibration, and you know, have a kind of a communal, euphoric experience, and that's what Kula Shaker concerts are all about, and more than just a concert.
So, is there a venue that you haven't played at yet that you want to play at in the near future?
We haven't played the Pyramids yet, but we're working on it. No, I mean, we're playing a place called Brooklyn Bowl later this year, which we're really excited about. We heard about that gig. It's a cool little gig in New York. You know, you hear about them as you go, and you kind of, there's always new places to play. We're going to playing Bexhill. I'm very interested to play the. It's called is it Delaware? No, it's not the Delaware. How do you pronounce the gig at Bexhill? No pressure. But you are from Bexhill.
It's that station I present on, yes. So, this is a very good venue there.
Yes, let's just say it's a regular venue. It looks very nice, sort of Art Deco building. Looking forward to that, and also looking forward to going back to Wolverhampton, the Wolfram Hall. We played there when we were kids with a band called the Presidents of the United States of America, and we were their support band, and they were having a hit with a track called Lump and Peaches, and it was a great experience, and so we got a lot of good memories of that venue as well.
So, finally, can you tell my listeners when can I find Kula Shaker on your socials?
Yeah, we should be there, Kula Shaker Official. You can see us on Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify, and we're beaming in from the space station. We're everywhere. You just got to tap in. There's this thing called what's it called? Google. Yeah, I mean, it's the thing. It's a new world. You can just tap in and find anything these days. Hopefully, you'll find us. And yeah, I mean, I think we're the sort of band that you don't really get it until you see it live. You don't really sort of get the whole picture till you see it live. That's kind of where we really, where we're really sort of able to sort of express ourselves. But yeah, we're fully conversant with the online age.
Thank you for letting me chat to you today.
All right, Ruben, take care, mate.
Enjoy the rest of your
Thanks for
day.
having me on.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.